Hello, hello, hello. Let me get this gallery view and see everybody. Wow, look at everybody here. Happy Friday. I'm so happy to see you all. This is Kathy Bullock. I'm Kathy Bullock coming from Berea, Kentucky, and I'm just so happy to share another fabulous day with you here on the Daily Antidote of Song. Yes, we are in day 1,885. I believe that's right. Joe, did I get it right? 1885? Y'all, 1,885 consecutive days of music magic. What? What? Yes. And today is no different. We have a fabulous artist who's coming to share with us, Alastair Moock, and I will get to him shortly. Welcome, Alastair. In the meantime, I get to greet all of you fabulous folk, starting with the great Joe Rossi, who I always have to do my bows to, is the mover and shaker, the visionary for what we've been doing for 1,885 days. Woo! And next, I see Kathleen in Albuquerque. Hey, Linda in Orcas Islands. Hi, Annette in California. Hi, Kathy in California. I want to be humming or singing, but I'm not on my regular computer or at the piano, so that'll just have to be and pretend that. You'll get beautiful singing with Alastair when he comes up. Susan in Cincinnati. Hey, Gary in Massachusetts. Carolyn in DC, Neil in Boston, Bob and Mabel and beautiful Bears in Massachusetts, Sheila in Florida, Sue in Seattle, Julie in Ontario, and Sydney in SF. Arlene in Berkeley, Adele on the iPhone, and good greetings, Hoda from British Columbia, Linda from California, Bob from Albany, Louise from Devon in the UK. Let's see who's next. Karen in Iowa, Aloysius in Massachusetts, Marion in Brighton, the UK, Athena from Brooklyn, Nancy in Washington, Baba Jim in Maryland, Deborah in Kentucky, Kay in Texas, and let's see who else we have here. We have Carol in Connecticut and Kat in Vermont. And I think I got everybody. Wow. I hope that's everybody. I hope I didn't miss anybody. So join me in taking a deep breath. Breathe out. Because we can, y'all, because we can. Oh, I'm so excited. This gentleman is coming to us from Boston, Massachusetts. Alastair, is this your first time in the Daily Antidote of Song, or have you been here before, Alastair?
No, ma'am. I've been on a few times.
All right. I just didn't have the pleasure to hear you, so I'm so excited to hear you now. Listen to this fabulous singer. Are you songwriter too? I already know Mover and Shaker.
I am a songwriter too, but today I thought I feel like doing songs that I didn't write, so that's what I'm doing today.
It's all good. It's all good. Coming from the heart. Join me, everybody, and those who are with us online in welcoming Alastair. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Afternoon. I guess we're right in the middle, right? Thanks, Joe. I chose a couple of songs today by Huddie Ledbetter for a couple of reasons. Because Huddie was born in 1889. He was born just a couple of decades after the end of slavery and into the depth of Jim Crow. Juneteenth is around the corner, and so it's a good time to be thinking about that history, as any time is. But I also chose it because I consider Leadbelly one of the great protest singers. He's not often thought that way. Just by virtue of escaping his circumstances and getting his songs into the world with everything he dealt with. That's a protest in and of itself. And his protests were joyful. I've been reading a book lately called Bring Judgment Day by Sheila Bernard, reclaiming Leadbelly's truths from Jim Crow's lies. Huddie Ledbetter spent a fair amount of time in jail, but any jail time spent under Jim Crow laws needs to be heavily contextualized. And this book reimagines, or not reimagines, it refactualizes the circumstances of Hughie's time in jail, how he came out, his time spent with the Lomaxes. John Lomax in particular was a virulent racist who made Leadbelly his butler, put his name on his copyrights on all of his songs. So it's a very complicated history. And we think about all of that when we sing any song by Huddie Ledbetter. Here's a great protest song. Where you wake up in the morning, you hear the ding dong ring. You go marching to the table, see the same damn thing. Knife and fork is on the table, nothing's in my pan. You say anything about it, you in trouble with the man. Let the midnight special sing that with me. Shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine the ever-loving light on me. Let's try that again. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine the ever-loving light on me. Boy, if you're ever down in Houston, boy, you better walk right. Yeah, you better not squabble, and you better not fight. You know the sheriff will arrest you. He'll take you on down. You can bet your bottom dollar you're penitentiary bound. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine the ever-loving light on me. Just let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine the ever-loving light on me. Well, yonder come Miss Rosie. How in the world do I know? Well, I know about April and the dress she wore, umbrella on her shoulder, a piece of paper in her hand. 'Cause she come to tell the governor, let loose my man. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine the ever-loving light on me. Just let the midnight special shine that light on me. Let the midnight special shine the ever-loving light on me. I don't believe Rosie loves me. Tell me why, tell me why. 'Cause she ain't been to see me since late last July. She brought me a little bit of coffee, she brought me a little bit of tea, she brought me damn near everything but the jailhouse key. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine the ever-loving light on me. Just let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine the ever-loving light on me.
On fire, baby. That was on fire. Thank you, Alastair. If you weren't awake before, you're awake now. Still with that feisty sound of Ledbetter. Talk to us more about that song, if you can. I was looking up as you were singing it. I've heard it often and sung it. But I said, wait a minute, what's the midnight special? They were talking about the train. The midnight special.
Correct, yeah. And my understanding is that the mythology in the jail was that if the light from the train shone on you in your cell, that you would be emancipated. Some of that may be myth. We don't have Hughie around to ask all the details, and that's one of the key things. I think with anything historical, it's really important to try to detangle what's myth and what's facts. But it's so especially important with America's Black history because everything about Black history in our country is rooted in racism, right? And so the stories right from the beginning, what became the standard text about Hughie and his life was from the original text that John and Alan Lomax wrote about him, and that those words and those stories have been regurgitated over and over again. They became the standard truth, and they've been put into other books through the years. And this book that I showed before is really about digging into the archival records, looking at factual history, and correcting as much as possible the things that were wrong.
That is so critically important as there's the ongoing effort to rewrite history and remake it. And with doing that, there is a loss. We really all lose because, as you said, Alastair, not only Black history, the lens comes from racism, but actually all of our history in the United States. When we think about it, if we don't acknowledge all the parts to help make what it is, if we don't acknowledge the good and the bad, the stuff that's fun to think about and stuff we only getting part of it, then we all lose because how can we move forward to make something better without acknowledging where we've been?
That's so right.
Rock on.
And
So
I want to clarify, Baba Jim put in here, John Lomax was father of Alan, which is that's right. And so John, the father, was the one who originally met Hughie, brought him out of jail. But it was later that mantle got passed to Alan, and Alan was a much better actor in his dealings with Hughie. It was not still uncomplicated, but part of what I've learned in recent history is that John, in particular, it was a deep mistreatment. I mean, it was rooted completely in Jim Crow, and so that's part of our own folk music history mythology, right? It was very paternalistic, and it was even beyond sort of friendly paternalistic. It was, it was indentured servitude, really, is what it was.
There's this love-hate relationship that has been forever with Black people and Black music in the United States, because if you have the myth that's perpetuated that these people, Black people, are less than, because you got to have 200 years worth of slavery, which is free labor. You got to perpetuate it in the land of the free. So you got to perpetuate this myth about the people that are under this oppression. So wait a minute, how can you love their music if they are not fully or quite? So that there's this constant that has been historically, and what you're speaking to is one example of it. And so what happens is some folks will just will take the music over and somebody else does it, or they'll say these people did it, but they were not quite,
right.
All that
and that was part of Leadbelly's story too, was that over in England, Lonnie Donegan was recording these songs, and that copyright money didn't make it to Hughie. But it's the same story over and over again. It's the same story with Elizabeth Cotten and really everybody that we can talk about, right?
And
folks here, I don't know, Joe, maybe you could put in the chat, not my own website, but the website. Some folks here will know, but you might not, Kathy. A lot of my professional work is with Reggie Harris.
Oh yes, I know Reggie.
And we have a program that we do together called Race and Song, and that's part of a larger organization that we created called the Opening Doors Project. So having these conversations in public spaces is kind of what we do all the time, and
it's transformative.
I couldn't ask for a better partner.
It's transformative. It's life-changing. It's life-giving to be able to speak in the way you do, just with just comfort. And this is what is, and that's what was, and this is how we plan to move forward. And because there are so many unsung heroes in your position who said, "Wait a minute. This is not quite, I'm going to tell you, this is how it actually was. And how can we move forward to make it better?" So we want
Yes.
to, by doing every time you do that, you and Reggie, you uplift and inspire others to do the same. So I'm thanking you in advance for what you're gonna do and what you're already done as we move into Juneteenth. A
Yes,
special taking a
ma'am.
moment to thank you so much for that and for sharing a bit of this background and reminding us we all can play a part in a positive way.
Yes. Yes. And, we were talking a little bit before we started that, in this moment we're in, I have my serious political songs. I don't have any stomach for them right now, to be perfectly honest. It's, I think there's another balance is between standing up, using your voice, but also holding on to joy. And this is a moment when we need to hold on to our joy. And there's a time for all of these things, and we need to be out protesting, but we also need to be playing music. And you all here, I'm preaching to the choir because that's why you're here. But playing music, making art, being together in community, it's so important right now. It's the motor that keeps us going.
Thank you, Alastair. That's my motor that keeps me going too. I always say that I can't control always what comes to me, but I can control how I respond. And I
Yes.
can choose joy. It's
Mm,
very powerful. I can choose that even in the midst of crazy. It's not like I close my eyes and pretend it's not there, but
mhm.
it's like how I choose. Because if I choose some other things, it gets internalized and it's so toxic and it just wears me down and it's disruptive and destructive. But choosing joy as we move forward, do all the things we have to do. Good grief. That is powerful, baby. So we're
Yes.
talking about power today and joy today. And I thank you, Alastair, for reminding us of it, for living it, for showing us this is how it looks. And I think you got
Mm.
another song for us in the same vein.
Yeah, well, let's sing another one. We all know these songs. I grew up on them. I know a lot of folks here grew up on them and around them. Goodnight Irene, the first big hit for the Weavers, but we have to make sure that we know who wrote that song. This is another Huddie Ledbetter song. Now, his original, he sang, I'll Get You in My Dreams. It's a little darker. Hughie knew how to walk the dark side too. So there's a little polishing up here to make it more joyful. But I think in this moment, let's sing the words that came down through history, through good stewards. Those Weavers were good stewards. Pete Seeger steered that music down to us, and thank goodness he did. Last Saturday night I got married. Me and my wife settled down. Now me and my wife, we have parted. Gonna take another stroll downtown. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Stop rambling. Stop your gambling. Stop staying out late at night. Go home to your wife and your family. Stay home by the fireside bright. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Sometimes I live in the country. Sometimes I live in the town. Sometimes I take the great notion to jump in the river and drown. Oh, Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, see you in my dream. Sometimes Irene wears pajamas, sometimes she wears a gown. When both are in the laundry, Irene is the talk of the town. That's not Ledbetter's. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. When I sing this song at shows, I like to make it quiet at the end and sing all together. We can't hear all our voices, but we can imagine them. Are you ready? Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Good night, Irene. Yes, dancing bears.
Wow, that was so beautiful. Good night, Irene. See you. Ah, I feel this warmth is just all encompassing as you were singing and as we were sharing together, looking at all of our community singing together. Those songs bringing a big
Yes.
joy to us. Wow.
And yes. Good night, Brian Wilson. Good night, Sly Stone. Two of the greats gone this week. We
Oh,
keep all that
yes.
music alive in our hearts, right?
Yes, keeping it alive. Yes. And as long as we sing it and it stays alive, there's hope. You gotta have hope, Alastair.
Yeah.
Because sometimes in the midst of this, despair can come to the point like, look, we've been there, done that. What? But when we sing and reminded of those voices, sharing those same songs that connect us to those before us and in the future, there's hope in that. There's love in there too. There's love in there too. And so I thank you for bringing both of those together. Now, what you got in store for you next? What's on your agenda coming up? You talked about several things. I want to say again the name of the book, Big Judgment Day.
Bring Judgment Day. Yes.
Bring Judgment Day, which is really important as we go into Juneteenth. And I invite everybody who's listening to learn for yourself. What is this whole Juneteenth? Because even though it's symbolic, it's really symbolic of the time when they wrote in the paper that Black folks are free, but that didn't mean that folks were going to abide by those rules. And so when the military from the North came down, was it to Texas? And on June 19th, they read this proclamation. So the Black people were told, you are free, because the other people weren't going to tell them. But it happened in other places in other parts of the country. I think some places here in Kentucky was in October or something. There was another date in Louisiana. But the whole idea is having that time to honor that passage for Black folk and for our country, and to remind us of what we continue to work for, how far we've come and what we still have to go. Yes. So thank you for that. Go ahead. You were getting ready to say something.
Well, no, I think some of the lessons about Juneteenth echo down today, because part of that story of Juneteenth is fake journalism, wrong facts, right? People not getting the information they need. That's something we're facing here today. And things that are illegal in our country, right? We're dealing with illegal acts. It's not just what people voted for. We are skirting the Constitution. And of course, that's deep in our history. And I'll say, Kathy, it's been encouraging to me. I have seen in our community early on, I noticed a dynamic. White folks with more privilege, I think were more caught off guard, even though it's the second time around, felt more helpless because that feeling of having no control, of having your future decided by forces that you can't reckon with, that are beyond you, that's a new experience for a lot of people who look like me in our country, right? And it was a moment, in my mind, it was a moment to look to all of our minority brothers and sisters who have been dealing with the things that we're facing now universally so much longer, right? And I see like a new resilience emerging, but it was important in me. I was looking to my black and brown friends in those early moments for how do you deal in moments that feel hopeless? What does history teach us? What does our culture and our heritage teach us about how we survive the moment? And I feel like things are turning. I feel like there's more of a backbone in some of white America than there was, frankly, 6 months ago. And that gives me hope too. But we're going to need a whole lot more of it.
Thank
All
you,
of us.
Alastair, for saying that, and for what that vision. For me, as a Black person, it feels like re-traumatized. Again, it's like, okay, we've been through that, we've done that, we paid paid our dues, we died, and others, so that we could get to this space. Now we got to go back through it again. Can I even do that another time? It was costly enough the first. So there's that sense. But then I remember my grandmother, who I never knew, who was born a slave. And if
Mm.
she could survive, no, my grandfather, my dad was born in 1910, his father 1858. Okay, so my grandfather, who I never knew, and his mother was an incubator. That's the term they use for it. I said, if she could survive, Amelia, whatever she had to go through to make it so I could be here, I just need to get on and do it. Get the work done and go forward. So sharing those, how that feels right now, it's important. And then the second piece is, where do we go from here? How do we move forward? And what I hear you saying is that, wait a minute, we all stop for a minute and then regroup on the.
Yeah, and part of the lesson for me too is that the fight needs to be there, but also the joy. And I think that's part
Yes,
of the history.
that is
It's certainly part
always.
of the history of what I was singing today is facing impossible odds and also finding joy. And that's a protest
Yes,
in and of itself. I think we can all learn
yes.
from that.
That's why I say every time when we open up, I say it's a brand new day, because that is not only transformative, but that's part of the fight. Being able to say, okay, I'm starting over again today with joy
Mm,
and hope, and
mm.
we're going to move forward. Ah, today's a new day, and that has to do with the faith and with the hope. Those things that are just as deeply rooted as the trauma, the things that have happened negatively, but how you deal with them. Absolutely, you on point, sir. Thank you so much for sharing this with us on this fabulous Friday, bringing those. Did you say where you're gonna go after this? Did you already say that? What you're doing next?
What am I doing next? Well, I have, let's see, in November, it's about to go on sale at Club Passim. I've been doing for 25 years a series called Pastors of Plenty, named for this fella's song behind me here. And so this is our 25th anniversary, which means I'm getting up there. And we're going to be, I'm going to be joined on this one by Mark Orelli and Mary Amsterberg and Sean Staples and Paul Kohansky on bass. So that's in Cambridge, right in the heart of the fight of Harvard Square in in November. And then between now and then, my organization, the Opening Doors Project, we're going to be doing a bunch of concerts in the fall and in through the winter. We've been getting funding for those. So Reggie Harris and I will be doing some of those, but also we have a whole roster of incredible artists that are part of our Opening Doors family. So Kemp Harris, who's a Boston-based musician who's killing it out here in the world, and Pamela Means, a woman named Zakia, our brother Vance Gilbert, who is going through some stuff right now, is part of this series too. And so we have some concerts coming up that we'll be doing all together in conversation around Black History Month, um, around Indigenous Peoples Day, and other things here in the Boston area. So come find us online, Opening Doors Project.
Opening Doors Project.
Yes,
.com.
.org, .org.
.org.
Yes,
Opening
ma'am.
Doors Project.org.
That's it.
Yes, please come and find it. And then, Alastair, do you have a website yourself, separately from
I
that?
do. I do. My website is Moock Music, MOOCK
Moock Music.
music.com. That's a com. The other one's an org.
All right. Well, I think with that in mind, I'm just filled up with joy and hope and all that good stuff. Maybe you could sing us out a little bit more, and then I'll say goodbye. Oh, before we do that, I want to say who's coming up on the rest of the week. If we have that information, Joe, I don't know if you were able to get it to us. Yes, because we had earlier
Betty
this
Sue.
week. Whoa, look, we had Sally on Monday.
Woo.
We had Tuesday, the Great Emma Revolution. Wednesday, we had Zoe Hannarin. Thursday, we had Jeffrey Warner. Today, the great Alastair Moock. And tomorrow, Betty Sue, just like you said, Alastair. And then Sunday, the Jubilee Voices. Woo, woo, as we go into the Juneteenth and that celebration. So I invite all of you to look around in your local communities because they're celebrating Juneteenth all over the country, either this coming weekend or next weekend or anytime during the week. There's lots of exciting happenings going on.
Yes.
And if you're in the area where Alastair is in the Boston, Massachusetts, so some hot, fantastic stuff going on there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So I know some of you are waving from that area as well. So give us a little bit, Alastair, before we say see you later to everybody. Until tomorrow.
All right. Thank you so much, Kathy B. And happy Pride to everybody. Happy No King's Day tomorrow.
No King's Day.
And happy Juneteenth. Well, the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Rock Island Line, it's a road to ride. Rock Island Line, mighty good road if you want to ride. Ride it like you find it, get your ticket at the station for Rock Island Line. I may be right, I may be wrong. I know you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Hey, the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. Rock Island Line is a road to ride. Rock Island Line, mighty good road if you want to ride. You got to ride it like you find it, get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line. Little Evelina sitting in the shade, think about the money that her daddy ain't made. Sorry, baby. The Rock Island Line's a mighty good road. Rock Island Line is some road to ride. Rock Island Line, mighty good road if you want to ride. You got to ride it like you find it, get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line. Yeah. Have a great day, everybody. Mighty good road.
Everybody join me in thanking Alastair. Thank you so much. Whoa, that was fab. It was on fire. It was so right. It was so uplifting. And it's thank you, bringing us joy on this Friday, June 13. Thank you again. All the best as you continue. Thank you for the stuff you're going to do in the future. And for continuing to move forward with so many collectively, empowering us all, filling us with hope and joy in these crazy times.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you. And thank you, Joe, for everything you do for all of us.
Fabulous. So with that in mind, I'll just say, see y'all till tomorrow with everybody else. And don't forget to check in with all that good stuff Alastair's doing in the Boston area. Oh my God. Joe, thank you so much. She's driving. I don't know how she does it. I don't know. But anyway, it's fabulous, all that you do. Thank you. Kathleen in Albuquerque, thank you for joining us. Annette in California, Kathy in California, Susan in Cincinnati, Neil in Boston, right there where Alastair is. Bob in and Mabel in your beds. Thank you, Sheila. I'm still feeling rock out. And then Sheila in Florida, Karen in Ohio, in Iowa, Arlene in Berkeley, Sydney, and Athena in Brooklyn, Baba Jim in Maryland, Don, hey Don, Vermont, Bob in Albany, Ruth in Birmingham, the UK, Holder in British Columbia, Nan in Michigan, Carolina, Julie in Ontario, Canada, Carolyn in DC, Linda in California, Adele, hey, Aloysius in Massachusetts, Susan in Tacoma Park, Storm, Massachusetts, Gary in Massachusetts, Ann Lafferty, Louise in the UK, Nancy in Washington State, Carolyn in Connecticut, Kat in Vermont, the Curly Tops in Vermont, Christine in Ottawa, and I think that gets everybody. And y'all have a fabulous day. Woo! See you tomorrow.